Okay, for the next 2 hours, I will try to give you some more example on the Tafang data, right? Because so far you are preparing the data exploration, right? So I'll try to give you more tool, right? So you can like do more exploration on your presentation next week, right? So next week, every team, let's take a look at the this week's assignment first, okay? So this week we are doing this your midterm report, right? Okay. So basically, you want to apply all of the technique that we have learned so far, right? And to 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 explore the Tafang data set, and then you want to need your final exploration notebook and upload the web page to your group folder, okay? And if you want to also use some presentation, it's optional, but you can also use PowerPoint if you want to, right? Okay, so you can also upload your PowerPoint with this file name into your group folder. Okay, so next week, in the first hour of the next week, I will let every team have like 8 minutes or like how many minutes I say? 10 minutes. Okay, so this is 10 minutes, right? Okay, so I'll give every team like 10 minutes presentation, right? Okay, to present what you have found, okay, in the data. So you don't need to you don't need to describe the data again, right? Because we already use the data a lot of time, right? Just try to cut into the point, right? Tell us what you have found. What is the insightful and impactful the phenomena, structure, trend, or pattern, okay? Whatever the impact for interesting pattern, some trend, some structure, phenomena that you have found within the data, right? And use what you have found to try to like make some suggestion to Tafang, okay? Kind of like treat yourself as a consulting company, right? And I'm giving you the data, and after analyze the data, you want to give some suggestion, some strategic suggestion to the Tafang retail store, okay? That's what we want to do, okay? Any question? So you can do that, right? So this is the your homework and your group homework. So in order to help you prepare this, I already give you two notebook, right? We already have this notebook 1, notebook 2, and that we already walk you through, okay? So today I'll give you two more notebook. So give you more example, right? So we can do your exploration better, okay? So before we go into the notebook, let's maybe let me check that okay. Okay, so I told you that this file is updated, right? So if you want to have the notebook, you need to download this zip file and like unzip the file into your RStudio folders. Okay, so after you download and unzip the new Tafang.zip, your Tafang folder should look like this. Okay? So there should be 4 notebook under the Tafang folder. So today we have 2 new notebook to go through, and the first one, the third notebook is actually for customer, and the 4th notebook is actually for product, right? These are the 2 most important things that we want to deal with in retail, right? Because in retail, all we do, the business of retail is actually like selling product to customer, isn't it? Right? So I try to make use of the data, so we have a better understanding about our customer, so we have a better understanding about our product, and even more important is we want to know the relationship between customer and product, right? That is important, right? If I know like which type of customer like to buy which type of product, right? That is very important, isn't it? Right? So that's what we are trying to do today. We want to focus on customer and also focus on product, right? So let's see notebook 3 first. You get the data already? Okay. So the title of notebook 3 is called customer value, right? Well, this is actually the modern marketing is actually concentrated on 2 things, right? If you have the chance to take some online course of the world class, the top level business school. I mean, if you take a marketing class, online marketing class on Wharton Business School, on Harvard Business School, on like West Northern, on Columbia University, okay? If you take on Boston University, so you will see the same thing, right? All of this top level world class business school, when they teach marketing, they put their focus on 2 things. First thing is customer centrality. It means that you want to put customer in the center of your business, okay? You want to gather customer information as many as possible, okay? You want to know your customer better and better, right? That's called customer centrality. And the second thing is called value orientation, which means that whatever we do, we want to create value, right? We want to create value for our customer so that we can earn money, right? Okay? So, so modern marketing, well, if I say it, well, in one sentence, is we try to earn money from our customer, right? So this is just like a more polite way to say that, right? So modern marketing is all about making money. We want to earn money from our customer, right? That's what we try to do. So in order to do that, you need to know your customer, and you need to know what type of product the customer would like to buy, right? And that's what we're trying to do in today's 2 notebook, okay? And see, we are using the same piece of data, right? The data has not changed. It's the most simple POS data. But with the R language, with some data processing capability, and also with the help of the packages, right? We can do a lot of analysis and know a lot of things. We can, by exploring the data, we can know a lot of things from a single data frame. Okay. Now, if we are thinking about the value of customer, right? The first thing we want to do is like, can I see who are the most valuable customer to the company, right? Because we are thinking about the value of customer, right? So the first thing I would like to do is like, what is our top 500 customer? So let's see how I do that. Okay, this is just to define some color, right? Because the default color is kind of ugly, right? So I used to like define my own color scale, and then see how can I single out, how can I identify my top 500 customer? See, if you know how to use R, like it's very easy, right? It's just one line of code, right? Can you understand what it is doing? A0 is the customer data frame, right? That we are already used for a couple of weeks. So let's go into here. So after loading data, we will see 3 data frame, right? This is for product item, and this is for customer. And what is X? Anyone? You should know this very well, right? You should know this 3 data frame very well. So we have like 32,000 customer, right? They bought like 817,000 items from us, okay, in 4 months. Now what is X? Say louder. Yeah, transactions, right? Because the data is actually transaction item, right? So you want to aggregate the transaction into you actually want to aggregate item into order, right? And you aggregate order into customer, right? That's the way we before we do analysis, this is the first thing that we need to do. Okay. So now that you have a folder, sorry, you have a data frame called customer, called A, and each row is a customer, right? And this is the attribute of that customer. Okay? Okay. So how can I like identify the top 500 customer? As I told you, it's very simple, right? It's just one line of code, isn't it? Okay? After doing that, I will have an object called A500, right? See? So what is the criteria that I use to do the selection? Anyone? I choose the top 500, right? I must have a criteria to do the selection, right? So what is the criteria of selection? Raw, right? So raw is actually what? Is the raw profit, right? It's the raw margin that the raw margin contribution of customer, right? See, in this data frame, we already have a column called raw, right? Okay. So, and this top end function, right? it choose 500 customer who has the largest raw profit contribution, right? So this is the 500 most profitable customer, I should say so, right? So you have 500 data here. How can you use this? If I just give you this table, it's like give you nothing, right? You basically can tell nothing, right? But we can put that data frame into a ggplot, isn't it, right? And then we can, with this ggplot, I can make the ggplot interactive. Okay? So let's see the result. I think we have better see the result in here. It's easier, right? Okay. So this is just ggplot. I just make a geom point, right? Okay. Then you can see this is f. F is the frequency, right? The number of time that they buy from us, and this is M, right? The average amount that this customer buy from us. Every point is a customer, right? Every point is a customer, and the x and y coordinate represent the average amount and also the volume frequency of each of this customer. And what is the color? It's the raw, right? It's the total revenue contribution of this customer to us. So who is can you tell? Who is the most important customer to us? This red one, right? This red one, okay. So you can actually point to that. See? You can see, for each point, you can see their, basically their RFM type of things, right? Okay. The thing is like you can actually change the color mapping, right? You can actually change the color mapping, or you can actually change the. For example, if I do this, I cannot see who is this one, right? I do not have the customer ID of each of this point, right? So I know that there is a point, but I don't know who is this one, who is this guy, right? Okay? So in order to do that, what can we do? In order to identify each of this point, we need the point ID, right? So the way to add a point ID into the plot is actually just, you can add there's a customer ID, right? Sorry. Okay, if I do this, okay, and I make the chart again. Now I see the customer ID, right? Isn't it? Okay. So you know this is your most important customer. What else do you want to know? Now that you already know that the most important point is here, right? These are the customers who buy from us very, very frequently, right? But their order amount is kind of very low, right? Okay? These are the customers that buy a lot. Their M is very high, right? He buy only one time, but he buy like $10,000, 10,000 NT dollar, I think. Okay, so usually the most profit variable is something in the middle, right? Isn't it? Okay. I mean, this this is not a spatial case. If you look into all of the B2C business, this pattern actually appears on almost every single B2C business. Okay, the most important customer would always appear in kind of like this area. Okay, so this type of customer, you will need to have someone to take care of them carefully, right? Isn't it? Right. So within this customer, actually, there's one thing very important, right? If we know their recency, it's very important. Okay. So I actually I can change this I can make some change of the code, right? So for example, I do if I change the code like this. So as you can see that they are, if I change this to recency, right? Okay. So you can see that some of the customer, the red color, it means that this customer is like has not buy from us for a long time, right? Isn't it? R is the kind of like the recency, right? So if the customer do not come to us for a long time, it will turn red. Okay? Isn't it? Right? So if I want to do things like that, and I want to apply a filter, right? If I only want to see the if I put a filter here, okay, let's see. I forget to do this. Sorry. I put a filter, right? Okay. Now, what is this chart told you? Right? These are within our top 500 customer, right? Some customers not buying from us for a long time, right? For example, this one has not come to us for like more than 2 months, right? Isn't it? Right? So you have some of your customer stop buying from you, right? Some of your important customers stop buying from you. Isn't it? Right? Now, so you might want to have some of your employees do this analysis every week, right? Try to identify some important but stop buying customer, and you might want to call them, right? Okay, you might want to wake them up, right, before they leave you forever, right? Isn't it? Okay, so that is the way that we do data analysis and visualization, isn't it? Right? Right? Okay. You use this A data frame, and you apply some filtering criteria, right? And visualize the data, isn't it? That's the way you do it. Even better way to do that is do something like this. Right? So if I want to see my top 2,000 customers that do not buy from me for 45 days, okay? Now execute it again. See the result again. Isn't it? Right? Now this is the power of programming, right? Instead of just give you a static plot, okay? You can adjust the parameters, right? And so that you can see whatever you want to see, isn't it? Right? So this is in this idea, I would like to emphasize this slide again. This is a slide that I show you in the very beginning of the class, right? Okay? I told you that in the R environment, after you're collecting the data, you will put the data into a data processing pipeline, right? You're putting the data into a data assembly line, right? And in this assembly line, you simply put you have one station after one station after one station. You have a data flow through this assembly line, and then you can, using tool, to analyze the data and do presentation of the data, right? Now when you present the data, it's not just the data. You need to know where to look at, right? For example, if you are doing marketing, you want to know how to identify your most important customer, right? Okay, you need to know you need to know what is the variable that I want to select, isn't it? Right? You need to know what is the variable that I want to do the filter, right? Okay, and you want to know what is the important variable that I want to use as the x and y, and also as color, right? Okay. Well, if you like, you can also put on a size, right? For example, if I want to I say size equal to the sorry. So size is their raw profit contribution, okay? So after I do that, what do I see? Y looks basically the same, right? Let's see. What's wrong? Size equal to raw. It didn't seem to work. Let me try again. It looks very strange. Say if I want to raw different, right? Oh, because I override the size here, right? That's why the size didn't work. Okay, so let's see. Now it's different. It looks different, right? Now the size represent uh, the raw contribution, right? So as we can see that this one is important, right? If you want to do something, right? This guy is the you want to do first, because it used to contribute a lot of profit to us, but it has not buy from us for a long time already, isn't it? Right? See, in this way you can single out where you want to spend your customer money, where you want to spend your marketing money, right? These are the important customer that you need to take care of, right? That you should take care of, isn't it? Right? So this is the way. We do not use any spatial analytic method, right? It's just simply data analysis and visualization, right? So it can help you identify the customer that you need to take care of. So you get the idea? Okay? So this is one of the way that you should do your final report. Okay? Any question? Okay? Alright, so let's move on, right? So now, in this analysis, we are basically doing things like every the unit is actually one customer, right? Okay, because these customers are so important, right? So you want to like treat them individually, right? But you don't really have that many resource to take care of every individual customer, right? Okay, so usually you will do customer segmentation, right? Okay. So beyond the most important VIP type of customer, you will try to group the rest of the customer, right? So you can like manage them group by group. It's easier, isn't it? Right? So actually, the reason that you want to do segmentation is if you divide the similar customer together, you can manage them, right? In a distinctive way, right? You can design a product, you can design the campaign, you can design the media strategy, so that you can contact them, you can appeal to them, and make them buy more, buy often, right? That's what customer segmentation is. There are many ways of segmentation, right? We can do like we already told you the hierarchical clustering, right? The K-mean clustering. Okay. Now you can actually use the characteristic like RFM type of thing to do the statistical clustering like hierarchical like K-mean. But the problem is that if you do that, right? If you do the customer segmentation by K-mean, for example, you will get into one problem, right? Because this K-mean type of clustering, like they have some random. By nature, they will have random criteria. Okay. Before you do the clustering, you do not know what type of criteria they are using for clustering. That is the problem for statistical clustering, right? So sometimes you want to have a fixed rule-based segmentation, right? So in this section, I would like to demonstrate to you how can we use the rule-based segmentation. Actually, the simplest rule-based segmentation is to use the categorical variable directly, right? I mean, you can use the age group, you can use the area, you can use this categorical variable as the grouping variable directly, okay? That's nothing wrong, okay? You can do that, okay? And sometimes you want to use RFM to do customer segmentation, and one way to do that is to group the customer by the quantile of F and M, okay? You know, F and M is actually a numeric variable, right? So every numeric variable, they have some distribution, isn't it, right? So you kind of chop the quantile. Quantile is to chop them like into 4, right? Okay. So if you you actually can use this quantile function to chop the F and M into four chunks, right? So you can add a label, right? You can add a label called you can divide the customer according to their M into M1, M2, M3, M4, right? And in the same way, you can label your customer according to their frequency by F1, F2, F3, F4, okay? So usually if you do it this way, right, you will see the number here is usually it will be similar to each other, right? Because you are using quantile, right? Okay. The reason that we have we seem to have more count in the F1 column is because, can anyone guess why this column is larger than the other 3? Anyone want to make a guess? Well, the answer is like here, okay. If you do a quantile, right, of F, you see that the first quantile is just the one-time buyer, right? Because you have a lot of one-time buyer, and they form a group by themselves. Okay, so that's why we have that's why we tend to have more count in this F1, right? Okay, so this is what we mean by rule-based segmentation. Okay, we do not use the distance we do not use similarity, right? We simply use rule to divide our customer into groups. Okay, so the next thing is after we do the labeling, I also find the 100 product category that generate the largest profit. Okay, because I want to see that among these 16 groups, right, what are the product categories that they are buying most, right? I want to kind of make a connection between customer and product, right? I group the customer and I want to know that if there are some distinctive buying pattern among the groups, across the groups, right? I want to do that. So because we have 2,000 categories, that they are too much, right? So I select the 100 category that generate the largest profit, right? So this is the result, right? Okay. So and then I do a join, right? The reason I want to do a join is actually join is like a filter, right? Okay. So as you can see that in this A data frame, I already add two columns, right? I mutate FM, right? Okay, so so that after I do the join, I will see something like this. Do this first. And then this is to select the 100 category, and then I kind of join them, right? I'm using I joined the Z and A, and actually I use this xtab function. Try to make a metric, right? Let me show you the metric so it's easier. Let me see if I can. So I'll try to make a matrix like this, right? This is the group label, right? M1 F1, M1 F2, up to M4 F4, right? This is the group, and this is the category, right? Okay, and I try to sum the. So this group spend so many money on this product category, and they spend so many money on this category. You get the idea? I try to like summarize for each customer group. I try to count the number of money that they spend on the category. Okay, I can do it by group by and summary, but the benefit of doing xtab is it will generate a metric instead of a data frame, and it's easier to operate, right? If you do it by group by and summary, you will get something like this. If you do this is the group label, right? And this is the category, okay? Then actually I should do this first. If I do this, I will have something like a data frame, right? Okay. I'll get the same data, but I actually will have a data frame, right? And that is not what I want. So see, this data is exactly the same as like it's exactly the same like this, right? But this format is more compact, right? It's easier to do like customization. Sorry, clustering type of thing, right? If you have data like the data frame that I show you, then it's not easy to do clustering, right? So usually when you want to do this is called customer group and categorical matrix. Then after you generate this matrix, now you can actually, let's go to here. So if you this is just a function to generate a heat map, right? Okay, this is the heat map. So you can actually plot the matrix into a heat map. Okay, so if you do so, you will see a heat map like this. Okay, I mean you have a matrix like tell you what, let's take a break first, okay? Let's take a short break. Let's continue our class at 11:10, okay? For better continuity, okay? Let's stop here, and after we go back, we'll see how we can visualize a matrix and how to tune the data so that the matrix can give us more information, okay? Let's break and get back at 11:10, okay?